So if you would just please take a moment to silence your cell phones, that would be great. And you can take lots of pictures if you like during. But I'd like to quickly just give a brief introduction again to our presenters. So Reverend Dr. Alice Reed, whoop, right there. Yes, so Reverend Dr. Alice Reed is the Centers for Spiritual Living Leadership Council Chair, the spiritual leader of Center for Spiritual Living Capistrano Valley that's located in San Clemente, California. Welcome, Dr. Reed. Thank you. Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer. Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer is the board president of ANTN, A-N-T-N, also known as the Affiliated New Thought Network. This is in Los Angeles, California. Welcome, Dr. Jerry Troyer. Reverend Sharon Dunn. Yeah. Can't have too many introductions, can you? Right, Senior Minister of Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living in Sacramento, California. So please welcome Reverend Sharon Dunn. Reverend Susan Overland. Right behind. She's behind me. Okay, Centers for Spiritual Living Regional Coordinator and co-chair of the Centers for Spiritual Living Ministers Council, San Jose, California. And last but not least, Dr. David Bruner, retired from senior minister role at Center for Spiritual Living San Jose in 2022 after 25 years of service. And now, integrative neuro-linguistic programming practitioner and coach, currently living in Utah. Awesome, so you made the longest trip. All right, well, thank you so much. And now I'd like to bring up Travis Hogue.
Good morning, Awakening Ways. That's right, my name is Travis Hogue, and I am the booking agent and artist liaison for our beautiful center here. I want to take this moment to congratulate everybody here for making it. Some of you traveled great distances, and I just wanted to acknowledge that and welcome you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it is my great honor and privilege to introduce our musical inspiration for the day. Our Bay Area legends, in my mind, Troy Arnett and the beautiful Reverend Michelle Jordan. Queen Michelle and Troy Arnett, thank you so much. We also have in the house for today and tomorrow the beautiful Powers of Love, Southern California based Jason Powers, aka DJ One Love, will be spinning our dancing music. And I did wear my dancing shoes, thank you very much, and I am ready. I hope you are ready to do some dancing. Tomorrow, during the installation ceremony, we will have the beautiful guest musician, Heather Powers, will be joining us, and I thank you so much for being here. And without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our house band, Jimmy Townsend, and the What Else Is Possible Band. Thank you, Jimmy Townsend. Take it away.
I believe in God, absolute and mighty. God is all there is. Everything is God. I believe the kingdom of heaven step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. Step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I step into the flow, and then I let it go. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I open my mind, my heart, and my soul. I open my mind, my heart, and my
Well, I think we're warmed up now, don't you? Wow, grand rising, everyone. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I know all this pomp and circumstance, right, that we're doing here this morning, it's really ritual. And what I know about ritual is it helps us to embody the moment. So embody this moment with us this morning as I read this by Reverend Catherine McDowell. Ordination is a rite of passage. People may not be directly involved in a ministry, may want to know the importance of ordination. It is the most honored, significant, and sacred rite of passage for a minister and for the center they serve. In some denominations, ordination is part of graduation from seminary, but not in Centers for Spiritual Living. In Centers for Spiritual Living, the ordination is conferred upon a minister who has completed not only their practitioner training and their ministerial training, and they have also successfully performed as a minister in a field or in a center or in a ministry for a minimum of 3 years. The ministry of this individual has been reviewed by the Department of Licensing and Credentials of Centers for Spiritual Living, Home Office. They've been interviewed by a panel of their peers who have made the recommendation of their ordination to the Leadership Council. And it is my pleasure to tell you that the Leadership Council graciously accepted Reverend Elizabeth and her ordination credentials and this office grants her ordained minister. For the minister being ordained, the ceremony is a fulfillment of many years of study, commitment, and growth. But most importantly, it is their affirmation that ministering to the spiritual growth of others is their lifetime dedication. Let's just take that in for a moment. A lifetime commitment of dedication and devotion. Ordination is a celebration with the minister as they affirm their sacred commitment to spiritual service. Reverend Dr. Jerry.
Thank you, and good morning. I'm Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer, Board President of the Affiliated New Thought Network, or ANTON. Thank you so much. Of which Awakening Ways is, of course, an active member. I bring you greetings from our board and our members, along with the messages of hooray, yeehaw, and woot woot. With that in mind, would you join me in the light for just a moment? Releasing thoughts of what happened earlier today, releasing thoughts of later today or tomorrow, we allow ourselves to be fully present in the joy and the passion and the lusciousness of this moment. And as we do, we allow ourselves to be reminded that there is only one power, presence, mind, life, and intelligence, and that is God. Spirit, the universe, the infinite, the divine, whatever we choose to call it. And because there is only one, and we are of that one, we recognize that we feel with the heart of God. We see with the eyes of God. We know with the mind of God. And we come together in gratitude today for our beloved Reverend Elizabeth, for the amazing path of her life up until now, and the amazing path moving forward for her as well as for Awakening Ways. What a beloved, amazing, passionate, joyful spiritual community. What a wonderful blessing you all are to the world. So we give thanks. We give thanks for yet another example of the abundance of the universe hearing the rain in the background. We give thanks for the joy and the passion and the love in this very room. We give thanks for Reverend Elizabeth's dedication. So I wrap our time together today in gratitude, love, and light. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Good morning. For the third time, I'm Reverend Sharon Dunn Alberg. There's another name there, Alberg. I've been married about a year and a couple of months, and I keep forgetting that part. But if he's watching, I just kind of, want to put that out there. Love you, man. So, spiritual community is unique. It's like, and of course, Elizabeth has 2 jobs, if not more. I haven't checked in, but when you're in corporate America, you go to work and you leave your private life at home. But when you come to spiritual community, it's the opposite. We leave our personal and or our professional life at home, a lot of times we don't even know what we do professionally when we come here, right? And so we leave our professional and all those skills at home, and we come here to do the personal work. So a spiritual leader has to be a container for that. Do you get that? So this is not a roast, although I'd love it to be. Wait for it, okay. And so I just want to share, I've known Elizabeth since seminary. I think it was Susan Overland that says we were litter mates. And the one thing, I think the one word everyone knows about Elizabeth is unstoppable, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yes, we had to memorize that in school, and we knew that about her. But I looked it up, and unstoppable is impossible to prevent. This is who you have as your spiritual leader. Another word for her is vulnerable, and of course Webster's dictionary defines that as open to attack, which is a very courageous stand, and she is. Ministry is exposure. Basically, we're up here living our life out loud in front of you, making all our mistakes in front of you. And I'm saying all this because I love her so much, and I want you to love her so much, even when she doesn't love herself so much. That you be kind to her when she makes her mistakes, and be mindful when you are making sure she knows she's made one. I'm all for kindness. But vulnerable is an open book. It has been quite a journey to be a minister, living my life out loud. And the more out loud she lives, and she does, more than most people I know, what you see is what you get. That's awake, that's aware, and you're lucky. The other word for her is resilient. Elizabeth, I thought of resilient first. I don't know if there's anyone my age in here, but do you remember those weighted balloons, like they were clowns and you'd hit them and they'd bounce right back up? That's her totem. She, resilient is able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. And right in front of you, both her parents have made their transition. She's still upright, taking nourishment, bringing herself here fully, inspiring you no matter what. Playful. Who does not think this girl is playful? Elizabeth was the most fun in school and remains to be the most fun still. I think she's still the most fun minister. We were just at a Silmar and they were all there and she was still the most fun. Elizabeth is supportable. She reminds me a lot of the Buddhist way when you talk about, walking the middle way and not being attached. She doesn't get stuck. And she also is willing, being supportable, to literally go to her colleagues and say, what must I know here? And the thing that, I'm going to just tell you just a couple more words that I thought about. Elizabeth. And these are all good. Like I say, this is not a roast. She's forgiving. Yes. Sympathetic. Considerate. Understanding. Compassionate. Benevolent. Kind-hearted. tender, very good-natured. She walks her talk. And she knows how to discipline herself. She's kind of a nut that way. You always got to see her posts on Facebook. I'm at the gym. You know, like who cares? WTF? Where's the faith? What's wrong with you people? This girl knows about spiritual practice. She knows about spiritual practice. She's seeped in this teaching, very intelligent, and I love this word, relevant. Elizabeth is relevant. You know, we always think, oh, I really wish I had a young person at my center to help with technology. Isn't she brilliant? Okay. And, you know, to close, I listened to her talk last week, and she talked about being gentle, didn't she? If you weren't sleeping through it. I'm sorry, that's part of the roast later. Being gentle is having a mild or kind temperament. She asked you to be gentle with the theme this month is that topic, but isn't she that? I thought, wow, she is gentle. So what you have here as a minister, whom I want you to take care of, because I'll be back, is to know that you have, as a minister, someone jam-packed and fun-filled.
Hi. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. So I am also, for the third time, Susan Overland, and I was elected to the Ministers' Council last year, and I know that Reverend Alice talked about this path of ordination, and I'm so grateful you did that. And we've, you know, most of us, all of us up here have done our own path to that. But serving on the Ministers' Council, I really got to look at it from the other side, from really what goes into that. So I'm really glad that Alice talked about that. But I want to talk about not the years of education, not the mentoring, having a sponsor minister, all of that, the performance indicators that need to be met. There's a lot. It's a lot to get to this day. But I got to witness the personal journey. Why am I getting weepy? I'm supposed to be the funny one. I know David just said she's from Brooklyn, so you'll have to forgive anything that comes out of my mouth. I figured it out, like getting ready for today. I've known you for like 20 years. It's a long time. And then I knew Travis, but before it was Travis and Elizabeth. And then it was Travis and Elizabeth, and then not, and then it is. It was awesome. I was there when she received her practitioner license at Center for Spiritual Living San Jose, and I was there when I watched her devour spirituality. I don't mean practice spirituality. I mean devour spirituality, like someone who had just come out of a desert and really needed water. That's how, and today, you still approach spirituality. A little crazy, but like, I'm so thirsty, but awesome. Not thirsty in a bad way. Just always exploring and reading and learning more and more. And, you know, how many Molly beads do you have? Yeah, I know. I know, they have a dedicated space for Hamala beads, really. Sometimes it's a bit much. But, but she taught those of us who got to be in her sphere, she taught us about it. She taught us about meditating and chanting. Because, you know, Brooklyn doesn't come easy. Not a lot of people are walking through the streets of Brooklyn chanting. Unless it's, I'm walking here. Other than that, it's, you know. So she taught so beautifully. And she hosted things. She did chanting nights and meditation nights. She served on the compassionate care team. She started the 12-step ministry. And then adventure, spirituality through adventure. She took a group of people to trapeze lessons. Come on. You know. And then, you know, like Reverend Sharon said, the Facebook post, I'm at the gym. It's like, I'm at the bakery. You spelled bakery wrong. It's like, but it's always to keep that unstoppable nature of striving for the best that is out there, the best that she can be, spiritually, physically, in relationships. Just, you know, and in that unstoppableness, yeah, there, you know, there's, oh, look, there's a rock, I tripped on it. But she'll go back. I love that Reverend Sharon said resilience, because it's such a powerful attribute for anyone to have, and most especially a minister. Because there's a lot of rocks on the path that can trip you up. So someone who is that hungry and dedicated to their spirituality is the right and perfect person to be at this point on the path of ministry, to be able to lead a community on the path of ministry, because if you're not walking the talk, you shouldn't talk the talk. And I think that's one of the best qualities that Elizabeth has, among many. But the fact that she really walks her talk is phenomenal. Do any of you know that, well, back in San Jose, I don't know if that was the first time, didn't she start the AIDS life cycle? The two of you together? She actually, so Reverend Elizabeth and with Reverend Dr. David brought the AIDS life cycle ministry to our center in San Jose, where they rode bikes from San Jose to Los Angeles over the course of 5 days. I might have that wrong, 7 days. But she actually made it, there were groups. It was the God Squad that she started. So a whole group of people, I waved when I waved them off, but a whole group of people got on bicycles to raise money, right, for AIDS research and such. And for years that went on. For years. And it was so beautiful. She did a Sunday where there was the blessing of the bikes right before they took off, and all the bikes were in the sanctuary, and people could bless them and pray over them. This is the person that's sitting here, and I wanted to bring so much of what people may not know about her and her contributions and her outreach and what she's been able to do. She served on the Visioning Corps because she's really, really good and powerful at visioning, manifesting, clearly. She's a powerful manifester. And then when social media, do you remember when Facebook was new? Yeah. When it wasn't Meta, right? So she actually got us on social media. Like Sharon said, she's an awesome techie. So you've got like a free marketing person. That's amazing. Oh, and by the way, I do marketing. Well, no, really? Awesome. Graphics, graphic design. She has that gift. I know you have people now. I'm talking about that. Pay attention. It was then. But the other thing, but do you notice, I mean, other than, even when she's going to the gym, even when she's working out and hiking, how does she look so put together? I mean, everything she does it while looking fabulous. She has the best shoes. She really does. She has the best shoes. I walked up to her one day and went, oh, I love those shoes. Where'd you get them? Like I would wear them. But anyway, she went Italy, and I went, you know, we can't be friends. I just walked away. I got these shoes in Italy. So this was before the Barbie movie. So every step. Oh, snacks. I'm sorry, I can't forget snacks. She had the best snacks in her desk. Like there was, like in your cubicle, and there's like a cabinet above your desk or in her drawers. And she shared. So we would like go in and raid her snack cabinet because she really did have the best snacks in the office. You mean, do you have them here? Do you have snacks? Oh, okay. No, I meant now. Do you have snacks? Every step of her journey has brought her here. Scripture tells us that everything has conspired for just such a time as this in the book of Esther. It's brought her to her Travis. It's brought her to Awakening Ways, to her ordination. And much like Sharon said, the other thing I know is that she will bring that unstoppable energy to Awakening Ways, Center for Spiritual Living. I'm sure she already has. And she's just like an Energizer bunny. She'll just keep going and going and going and come up with more ideas, and she'll serve and work tirelessly to serve her ministry. She will be a leader with a vibrant faith, which is phenomenal. She will be one who listens with empathy, as long as you can pin her down long enough, I have a 5-year-old grandchild, and I always look at her. I do think of you sometimes, because I look at Brooklyn, and I say, her name is Brooklyn, and I go, Brooklyn, eyes here. Eyes here. So remember that when you need her. Eyes here. I need your eyes. She will show you compassion, and most importantly, she will lead with integrity. She will love you, especially if you bring her snacks. And the biggest charge for you is to remember to love her back and to have her back. She's earned it. She's journeyed a long way to be here. And I couldn't be more proud as a friend and a colleague. I love you.
Greetings, everyone, or Grand Rising. My name is Reverend Michelle, and I'm honored to be a part of this ordination celebration of my sister, Scorpio. Yeah, just she and I right now, just chill. So I'm going to invite you all to, when I gesture like this, I want you to say, "We believe." We believe. And if you're inspired, to stand up, because when you stand in it, it affirms it and locks. Ooh, don't get me started. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. In the incarnation of Spirit in all, and that we are all incarnations of the one Spirit. In that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. In the ultimate goal of life, and to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. In the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. In the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone who may become a revealer of truth, and anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. That the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon it. In the healing of the sick through the power of this mind, in the control of conditions through the power of this mind, in the eternal goodness and the eternal loving kindness and the eternal givingness of life to all. In our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny. For we understand that the life we live is God, and so it is. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. When I find myself in times of struggle and in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer. There will be an answer. Many pray along the way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is telling you. Love can be us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yes, so the truth is telling me love's the only answer, and for all humanity, love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah, so we let it wash over us, we let it make us kinder, we let it make us better, we let it be, we let it early in the morning, we let it now and forever hold us together, we let it be, we let the love wash over us, we let it be, we let the truth, we let the truth wash over us, we let it be. One more, we let the love wash over us, we let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. This is Troy Arnett on piano.
Hello, my name is David, and I'm a Scorpio too. So, what might be helpful for you to know for context is Elizabeth, Reverend Elizabeth. I met her, she was called Libby. Yeah, she even had a sign in her house. Some of you might be old enough to remember Libby. When it says Libby, Libby, Libby on the label, you will like it on the table. I can't look at her. When I was in high school, there was something that was very much in vogue, and that was the most likely to list. Do you remember? Most likely to graduate, most likely to be a millionaire. Reverend Elizabeth is known in the organization as the one most likely to have the perfect manicure pedicure. And she will also be the most likely to be cheerful when the rest of the world is grumpy. It's really annoying. Because there were times when there were times when I would think in my head, and maybe it even tumbled out of my mouth, please cheer down. Do you know? I know you know. Because it's exhausting being that happy all the time. I actually forgot, I live in Utah now, and yeah, I live in Utah on purpose. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's fascinating how wonderful it is. But I had forgotten what California was like until last night at a local restaurant. My mother-in-law is 87 and heterosexual as far as I know. And an 88-year-old woman who's the mother-in-law, a mother of a friends of ours, was also there, and the two of them were sitting together, two heterosexual women. But in California, it was cute. People at the table were going, oh, how lovely, how long have you two been together? Okay, that's not a context you ever hear in Utah. The assumptions are just, wow. One of the most difficult, I was a minister in San Jose for 23 years to the date. And it was a glorious time. And I loved it. And I love that I'm not doing that now. For many reasons, because there came a point when the inertia was so strong that my life was pretty much automatic, and it didn't require me to be conscious in my deep dives. And anyway, why I'm telling you this is early on in my ministry. Hi, Troy, it's so good to see you. Early on in my ministry, I discovered that there was something that I really wanted to be when it came to ceremony and rites of passage. So this is a rite of passage. Rites of passage in the normal human world looks like baptism. It might look like confirmation, depending on your faith tradition. It looks like marriage. It looks like a funeral. Or in our business, we would say hatch, patch, match, and dispatch. Right? But it occurred to me early on in my ministry that people spend more time preparing the wedding than they do preparing the marriage. It was fascinating, bridezillas and groomzillas, who the ceremony had to be just so, but if you asked them, have you had a conversation about kids? No. Conversation about money? No. Conversation about how you will handle conflict? Because there might be conflict? No. I'm bringing this up to you because in this rite of passage, I'm intending it become very much like those weddings that I started loving officiating. Nobody in the audience was an observer. When two people get married, it's not like you attend a ceremony in which two people have something happening. It's really lovely being closer to 60 than I am to 30. I'm not sure why I put those two numbers together. But it's lovely being at this age because I'm discovering some things really, really matter, and some things don't. And I've discovered that at a wedding, let's say, it's not like you're watching something happening. A marriage is being developed, and a marriage is not just the union of two people, it's the union of two circles of family and friends in life. It's a synergistic occurrence. So what I'm inviting you to do in the next few moments, because soon we will be doing what they call in religious science, in science of mind, in Centers for Spiritual Living, an ordination. But it's not you watching something happen to and for Reverend Elizabeth. It's happening inside of you right now. It's your remembrance and your return to, as Reverend Sharon Dunn says, whose you are. Remember who you are and whose you are. So are you with me on that for context? So it's no longer you're here watching something happening. You're actually here now participating in something that's happening inside of you. Is that all right for context? Okay. I had some, did I put them in my, yeah, they're in my, forgive me, I'm just going to have a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. I haven't been on a pulpit. I haven't had a microphone since December 18, 2022. So hold on. Oh, I'm David. I'm David, and I kept trying to have them call me His Holiness. And then Mauricio, my mate, he vetoed it. If I were you right now, I would be judging the color of this man's robe. Now, you can say that in Utah, and that gets a laugh. And in California, we're very sensitive to the word judgment. We don't judge. Outside. This robe is not something I would have necessarily have chosen for myself. Do you notice one of these things is not like the others? When I was ordained wearing a black robe, which is standard and customary. And then in the year 2000, I was ordained in 1994. And in the year 2007, I was granted my doctorate from the organization. And when you go from pre-doctorate to doctorate, it's customary in the religious world as well as the educational world that you get a robe that has 3 bars. That signifies doctor. But because we were in Northern California and people are ecologically sound, buying a new robe was not an option for some of the women in the organization. So they decided they were going to take my former robe and they were going to, I won't say rehab it, they were going to habit it. But what they did was they created 3 bars and they used a hot glue gun. This is, although it costs the price of a small car, the materials are mostly polyester and it doesn't work well with hot items, so my robe ended up looking like carnage. But you know what's interesting? It's kind of like life happens that way, right? Like you intend well, you have an aim, you have an idea, and the execution of it isn't exactly as you would have had it be. But some of those things remind me of what really, really matters. See, what matters, I still have that robe. It's one of the few things that moved with us from California to Utah, even though I'm no longer in a pulpit and have no aspirations to do that ever again, ever. That robe is an outward reminder of a period of time in which there were a group of women who were on a mission to create something as a gift for me. So, why this robe is because for my 10th anniversary at San Jose, there was a group of people who pitched in a lot of money to buy me a robe, but because at that time I was living in Oakland, they said a boy who looks like this at least needs to have a purple robe or you're not allowed to live in Oakland. So here we are. Anyway, this is about Reverend Elizabeth Rowley, and it's about you. Do any of you know of a show called This Old House? Yeah. And is his name Bob Vila? Bob? Okay. For those of you who don't know, This Old House is where a man or a group of people go in and they get their hands on a house that needs a little bit of rehabilitation. It's maybe the house has gotten a little tired. Maybe the floors are a little creaky. Maybe the eaves have become loosened or have fallen, or maybe the paint is chipping and flaking. And the purpose is to bring that house back to its pristine condition. And whenever I think about this old house, I think of Reverend Elizabeth. Because that's what she does in her ministry. See? I didn't say I was going to be rational, by the way. But that's what her ministry is about. She takes people like you and me, and maybe our inner floorboards are a little creaky. Maybe some part of our facade has fallen off or become loosened. Maybe there's something inside of us maybe there's some internal plumbing that needs to be fixed. And what I've noticed about Reverend Elizabeth is she does it not in her instruction, like she just tells you what to do. She's a living example of someone who is, I know her word is unstoppable. Can you stop recording for just a moment? And for those of you who are sensitive to potty mouth, please plug your ears. She's actually unfuckable with. My mother-in-law, her eyes just flipped open. This old house, that's what ministry does. And what's happening today is a welcoming into a lifelong commitment. See, like after today, she doesn't have to fill out her reports anymore. This is like somebody who's been dating ministry for years. And now the marriage is actually happening. That's what's going on here, and I want to thank you for participating in this. Can I please have you join me in turning our attention to Travis? Okay. Travis married a woman with whom he will never have a 2-day weekend. Never. Most people don't have any idea of the generosity of the soul who would do that. Like, he has to give up the idea of going away on Friday night and coming back late Sunday night or Monday morning and having a normal weekend. And he signed up for this consciously. We know this. But it's often not noticed, see. So it's really important for me that Travis's name be known in this room, because his generosity is what keeps this organization going, because he loans his wife to us. Okay, she's not just your minister, she's his wife. So Travis, thank you. Thank you. And I love that you're almost as pretty as she is. Stop it. I remember hearing a story, and it's really about ordination. It's really about Reverend Elizabeth Rowley Hogue. Imagine Brooklyn, if you will. Imagine there's a little mom and pop shop, and imagine there's a sign that goes on the window and it says help wanted, and imagine you're an industrious young girl and you apply and you get the job, and right away you're tasked by the owner of bringing order to the room and doing a few tasks, which you do, and then you say, is there anything next? And your new boss says, yeah, actually, I need to go up into the attic. In which is a long box. It's a long, deep, wide box. And I need you to bring some order to the items in the box, discover what needs to be kept and discarded. And she does, this young girl. She goes up. And she comes back after just a few minutes. What she discovered up there was the attic was dark and dusty, and there might have been mice and roaches. And she opened the box, and the box was just filled with junk. Most of it should just be thrown away. So she says to her new boss, I looked, and nothing is really worth saving. And he said, thank you. And he paid her for the day, and he told her she doesn't need to come back. And next day, at that same little shop in Brooklyn, there's a sign on the window that says, help wanted, and a young industrious girl, maybe her name is Elizabeth, she applies for the job, and she gets the job in her usual cheerful, unstoppable attitude. She does quickly what the new boss wants, and he asks her to go up into the attic, and in which she will find this long, deep, wide box, go through the items, and find out what is worth saving, recycling, reusing, and she does. And she spends virtually the rest of the day sorting the nails and the bolts. She discovers little trinkets and treasures, and then the owner hears this little screech of joy as Elizabeth comes running downstairs because she found a $20 bill at the bottom of the box. And she found treasure in what would be other people's junk. This is what Reverend Elizabeth does. You know this, right? Whenever we come with our stories of something is broken or breaking our hearts or disappointing us, and maybe you know this is an election year, have you heard? Some of us are cranky. Some of us are on it, like I'm on it. Reverend Elizabeth reminds us, not just through her teaching, but through her unstoppable way of being, this too shall pass, and we're all going to be okay. And one of the most important lessons for a minister to get for herself and for us to get as members and congregants is it's not so much, it doesn't matter so much what it is we have to do. What really, really matters is that you be proud of how you handled what it is that you have to do. Because the worst part when you don't is not what didn't work in what didn't work. The worst part is the internal cleanup that is required for you having failed your promise to yourself one more time. Right? Okay. I realize I have spoken way longer than I needed to or wanted to. But I will suggest one thing, that we all remember what Reverend Dr. Marlene Morris, she was my mentor minister when I was back during the Depression. And she, at my ordination, reminded me that a minister that is too busy to pray is a great deal busier than God ever intended her to be. So, let me close with this. It is typical in ordinations for something called the laying on of hands. It's consensual. Just want to put that out. It's consensual, and the laying on of hands is something that happens whether you are Anglican, Christian, Baptist, Catholic, Lutheran, Protestant, Pentecostal. It's in the Jewish tradition, It's in the Navajo American traditions. It's actually in the traditions of kings and queens and people of state, the laying on of hands. And the laying on of hands is the confirmation that you have reached a certain state in life, and you are now declared worthy as such. And that's what's really, really going on today. And so you'll see it in a very subtle way when we lay the stole over Reverend Elizabeth's shoulders, when her husband does that. There is a laying on of hands of sort. But because this is also your ordination, where you're being ordained to remember who and whose you are, would you all be willing, and it may be awkward for just a moment, would you all be willing to reach out, if you can, and touch the shoulder of the person in front of you? And it may require you to get out of your seat. Hello, Reverend Tony. What's happening? What's happening right now? Would you come over here? You guys, yeah, get down. You are all going to need to stand up, if you will, because we want all of those hands to reach in and start to touch this one appropriately. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
So maybe 5 minutes of silence. Close your eyes, if you will, and I will do the same. Would you send through your arms and your hands the greatest wishes, hopes, and desires for Reverend Elizabeth Rowley Hogue? Send it forward. She receives it. You have now participated. None of us are audience members. Thank you all very much.
make his face, yes, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Lord, turn its face toward you and give you peace. And amen, 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 and your family and your children and their children and their children. Again, may his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and your children and their children and their children. May his presence go before you and behind you and beside you, all around you and within you. God is with you. God is with you in the morning, in the evening, in your comings and your going, in your weeping, your rejoicing. God is for you. God is for you. God is for you. God is for you. And amen. Amen. Every voice in the room. Amen. Let's say amen. Yes. Amen. Amen. Every voice. Let us rejoice today. Let us Lord bless you and keep you. Let us all sing lightly. Amen. Amen. For yourself. Amen. Just one more time.
Thank you so much for oh, thank you so much for setting the stage for this. You need to be in between us, darling. For setting the stage for this very sacred ritual of ordination. And so I hand this over to
So, Reverend Ministers of Religious Science, those of you in the room, those of you aspiring to be so, we present to you Reverend Elizabeth Rowley Hogue to be ordained into the ministry of the Centers for Spiritual Living.
So I have to ask you, are you convinced? Are you convinced? This community, this body of souls that is with us today, are you convinced that Reverend Elizabeth, whom you are presenting as prepared and worthy for this office of work of an ordained minister of religious science, are you convinced, sir?
Yes.
He used up all his words, I think. This candidate has been found to be prepared and worthy to receive ordination in the Centers for Spiritual Living. We are gathered here to witness a magnificent ceremony of initiation, welcoming, and transformation. Ordination is an initiation of a licensed minister into the lifelong calling of ministry. It is the welcoming on behalf of the family of ordained ministers of our faith to one more into our ranks. Reverend Elizabeth, we each stand here as innumerable people. He is. I'm gonna have to speak some more words.
Hello, everyone. I'm David. And this is kind of like life, right? So we have a script. This is where it gets kind of awkward for most of us. So I'm asking you to join me in the awkwardness. It's like, because these words are very important to Reverend Elizabeth. And it's not usually our style to be reading from a book. Many of us actually left organizations in which that happened because there was a notable absence of authenticity and spontaneity. And so that's why this is awkward for us, but it's important to her. So is it okay with you if we indulge her, to give her the words that matter to her? If that's okay with you, may I see the palm of your right hand? Thank you. And for those of you who didn't, thank you for not giving me the middle finger of the other. So, Reverend Elizabeth, we each stand here as innumerable people have stood here before us acknowledging God. And we have done our utmost in the world, failing or succeeding. And now we stand within this sanctuary before the eternal. And what we have done or not done is swallowed up in this moment. Get that, friends. What you have done or not done is swallowed up in this moment. Now what will you be? So we have worked, and now we celebrate. We have entered into the making of the world, but that is not enough. For we stand here today with the desire that the awareness of God should be more fully experienced in our lives by the act of what we call spiritual ordination. In the words of the 90th Psalm, let the favor of God be upon us, and establish thou the work of our hands. So with ordination, you, Reverend Elizabeth, step into a new life of spiritual service. And you, my friends, who are being ordained as yourself today, you step into a new life of spiritual service and commitment, which means ministry with its glorious moments of holy revelation and its changing moments, its challenging moments, becomes your lifelong passion. Your own classroom, your crucible. So today you enter a sacred path of the Most High. You become a minister for life. For life. For life. She's going to get that in a minute. But you know what? We're pretending, because this is how we work. We're pretending that this is about her, and it's really about you. This is for life. It's for how you are at Starbucks, how you are at Trader Joe's, how you are on US 101, how you are during an election cycle. Got it? Shit got real. My job is to give you something to forgive, so I am doing my job. So out of all the possibilities for giving your gifts to the world, you have chosen to be a minister for Centers for Spiritual Living, and this is a tremendous blessing to all of us. And we want it to be a tremendous blessing for you year after year. So over the years, your ministry and your heart will change. But your unchanging commitment to the desires of your heart that brought you here today will never change. So don't hold back. This is almost silly. Can you imagine us telling her, don't hold back? It makes me want to giggle. So don't hold back. Give all the wisdom, the organizational skills, and all the love you have to give. Of course, love is the most important part. Oh, there's more. It's like a Ronco commercial. But wait, there's more. A minister must have a breadth of heart that holds other hearts, comforts, heals, and remains deep enough to serve your own spiritual growth. Do not be an island. Seek the help and support you need. Get the rest and take breaks. Because if you don't, we will come for you. We will come for her. Because Travis will let us know. Okay. We all know that you possess the heart. We know that the kingdom of heaven is within you. We know that our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. So, remain steadfast and true to your ideals. Let their thoughts be centered on the divine. Keep doing what you're doing. That's basically keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to hand this back over to Reverend Alice Reed.
Thank you. So, Reverend Elizabeth, Centers for Spiritual Living has consented to this convening of this ordination. in recognition of the fact that your ministry is precious to us. We offer you this celebration to demonstrate your sincerity and commitment to its ever-enlarging dream of growth in consciousness that will lift the human spirit and heal a troubled world. You have heard the charge offered by Reverend Dr. David Bruner. Are you prepared to take the vows to become a minister for life in the Centers for Spiritual Living?
Would you all please stand? Thank you. Draw up from Mother Earth below, grounded energy, rock solid, grounded, timeless energy, if you will. And I'll do the same. And right now I'm asking you to draw down timeless Father Sky wisdom. Let the two circle around inside of you while the rest happens. Thank you.
And so I'll ask you to repeat the answer to that question.
I am.
Do you dedicate yourself to respond faithfully to the needs of all those who will call upon you? Will you bring the very best that you are into your ministry for the love of the people you serve and for your deepening?
I will.
Please fold your hands over your heart as a symbol of the sanctity of this moment of which you take these vows. Reverend Elizabeth, do you promise to love and be loyal to the teachings of Science of Mind and to the ministry you serve? Do you promise to minister to all those who come to you to the best of your ability and seek to see the face of God in all people? Do you promise to maintain your own spiritual practice so that your relationship with Spirit is always fresh and new? And finally, do you promise to promote harmony, peace, and right action wherever you find yourself and you are called to minister? And if so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Do you have the realization that God is Spirit, universal presence, and that this divine presence is everywhere, just as life is everywhere present? And if so, answer, I do.
I do.
Do you have the faith of God in humanity, in life, in the concept of unity in your spiritual center, and in this, your ordination?
I do.
And do you pledge to teach that God is principle and presence and love and law, the same yesterday, the same today, and the same forever?
I do.
Now, repeat after me. I, Reverend Elizabeth,
I, Reverend Elizabeth,
commit to my ministry for my lifetime.
commit to my ministry for my lifetime.
I promise to open my life to God
I promise to open my life to God
so that I may hear what is mine to do.
so that I may hear what is mine to do.
I promise to tenderly care
I promise to tenderly care
for all who come to me in spiritual need.
for all who come to me in spiritual need.
From this day forward, I will seek to make the world
From this day forward, I will seek to make the world
a place of increased love, peace, and joy.
a place of increased love, peace, and joy.
I send my word forth to heal and to prosper.
I send my word forth to heal and to prosper.
And I pray that God is fulfilled
And I pray that God is fulfilled
in, through, and as me.
in, through, and as me.
Reverend Elizabeth, the greatest mystics were people of power because they were people of prayer. And as Reverend David reminded us, that when we find that we pray, we find that our prayers are answered abundantly above all. And that everything we do and ask and think is an answer to a prayer. Be ever aware that a minister is too busy to take time to prayer, is way busier than they need to be. Beloved, minister day by day through all circumstances, no matter what others may do or say, in all things everywhere. Remember to pray. Come alone, sacred, solitary, to face the great reality. Beloved Reverend Elizabeth, because you have been found eminently qualified for ordination, and because you have made your sacred vows in front of your colleagues and friends by the authority vested in me by the Centers of Spiritual Living, I do now confer upon you the ordination of a minister of the Centers for Spiritual Living. Wow. But wait, there's a little more. Because now she receives the authority to exercise this ministry and to be faithful steward in the fulfillment with all rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining to thereof. And so therefore, I extend to you, Reverend Elizabeth, the right hand of fellowship. And now, with all the ordained ministers on the platform, do the same. Extend the right hand of fellowship. Okay. The Centers for Spiritual Living has a special gift for you. Beyond these beautiful souls that you have.
That was so awkward. I kept putting my hand out.
Beyond this spiritual family that was gifted to you when you came here to Centers for Spiritual Living. I will invite him up in a moment. Okay. No, of course not. Of course not. We have a gift for you from Centers for Spiritual Living, and it is her stole. And what I know about this stole is that it is special in that it is made of purple and gold. It's purple is the color that often symbolizes the faith and devotion and mystery and peace and nobility. And purple combines the calm stability of blue and the fierce energy of red. And I think that Reverend Elizabeth embodies both those elements, absolutely. And it's trimmed in gold, which is intimately linked to divinity. Gold symbolizes wealth used wisely and represents illumination and love and compassion. And the satin fabric reminds us that your ministry, just like your life, is woven from the threads of many people. Its smooth quality of satin reminds us that in the rough spots of our ministry, if we lean into our spiritual practice and our spiritual being, that the smoothness beneath and ever present in the midst of life challenges will make itself known. Our Science of Mind symbol expresses the triune nature of God, the consistent descension of spirit into matter. Every time you wear this stole, you are linked with all the clergy and spiritual teachers around the globe and across the centuries. You carry upon your shoulders the form and the essence of your ministry, clarity, love, and strength of a great philosophy, fulfilling a way of life. This stole is a blessing. And it is a blessing to you, and it is a blessing to all of your community. And so I want to involve you in this conference of this stole. And so what I want to ask you to do is to, like the teens, rub your hands together. And then face your palms forward towards me and silently pour your blessings onto this stole that Reverend Elizabeth will wear on her shoulders as she accepts the mantle of an ordained minister. And so now I would like to invite Travis, her husband, to come up. Yeah, you may remember that the love that accompanies the presentation of this stole here today, may you remember it always when you put it on your shoulders as a garment of blessing of this life that you have chosen, this devotion that you give to your ministry and your life. And so I ask Travis to please come forward as you turn around in front of your community, and he places the stole upon your shoulders. Oh, all may be seated. Welcome. And now it's time for us to hear from our beloved Reverend Elizabeth.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, it's 12:35. I'm the only thing standing between you and lunch. So I know we're all getting a little hungry. Can you smell the food? Oh my gosh. Right now, believe it or not, there are no words. I'm so moved. I'm so moved by all of you for being here to celebrate this beautiful day with me. I'm moved by Reverend Diane, who is the puppet master. Thank you. Yes, let's give her some love. Friends and family and Toni, I see you back there. Thank you for traveling the distance, all of the speakers and presenters, prayers. Michelle Jordan, you made me cry. Wow, I'm so moved and inspired. So I don't have anything else to say other than thank you. I love you.
I am as God created me. I am the light in this world. I am as God created me. I am. You got it? I am as God created me. I am the light in this world. I am as God created me. I am. Keep it going. I am a light. I am as God. I am. Second part goes like this. I am. You can keep singing the first part. I am. Sing the I am over. I am as God. I am. We're working it out. I am. As God created. I am. Tell them. I am. As God created me. I am the light in this world. I am as God created me. I am.
Wow, what a great morning and afternoon now. And so at this time, I would like to invite our ushers to come forth. Betty and Reverend Gina, where are you? Please come forth. This is our time of conscious giving. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, because your presence is your gift today to Reverend Elizabeth. And what a magnificent day this has been. Wow, the music, all of your speaking. And I also want to acknowledge our volunteer team that put this together. Thank you, each and every one of you that did that work. We're surrounded by friends. We're surrounded by beautiful nature. And we are also going to continue our celebration with a beautiful catered lunch. So stay put. We're going to go over to the side here, and you are going to be treated like royalty. And guess what? We have a DJ. I love is in the back. I love it. So inside your program, we have a wonderful little QR code that we're learning about, that you can go ahead and use your camera to take a picture, and it will get you right to the PayPal link. If not, no worries, because I want you to remember, it's not the amount you give. It's the size of your heart that you give it with. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your gifts today. Let's take our gifts in our hand and place it over your heart. And please repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world. And returns to us multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Yes.
All right, beloveds, I would like to offer a closing prayer. So if you would just take a moment and close your eyes if you're comfortable. Just take a moment and tune in to your body. If your body is like mine, every cell is dancing. It is jiggling around and moving with energy and love. There is energy of divine love in this room, as there always is. That is the most amazing thing about this spiritual community. It is love in form. And I know that today, on this most special day, that Reverend Elizabeth is changed forever. She walks out of this room a different person, and so do each one of us. We are forever changed by this ceremony, by our love and our intention to be the light in this world, to be the light in our families, in our community, to be the spiritual hub of the Central Coast. And so I know that everything that occurred here today so far was in divine order. And I know that we take this love within us and this changed being that we are, We take that out into our worlds. We shine that light on our loved ones, in our workplaces, in the grocery store, wherever we go. We are so blessed, and so is this world, by this spiritual community. I know that there's not another thing I need to say. And so I just release this prayer with great gratitude and thanksgiving. And together we say, and so it is.
Okay, I can't find my page. All I know is I'm supposed to close the ceremony. So thank you, everybody, for attending this really sacred, amazing service today. And we have so much more that's going to continue, a celebration of what's occurred, not only for Reverend Elizabeth, but for all of us. And I also want to ask everybody, please take pictures. Our photographer, unfortunately, couldn't make it today, so Reverend Elizabeth will really appreciate all the fun photos you can take for the rest of the afternoon. We're going to have some wonderful food, as Reverend Diane said, some dancing, and you don't want to miss the moves, I'm sure, for all of us. So I think that's it, right, Reverend Diane? All right, well, thank you, everybody, and everybody, I'm going to stay in your seats as we do the procession out of the room, and after the ministers will go first, then the practitioners, and then you can follow after that. Okay?
Just when you thought you were going to eat. Just a quick reminder that tomorrow morning, Reverend Elizabeth will be installed as the senior minister of Awakening Ways. So we hope you can join us for service 10 o'clock. What time? Oh, it's at 10. Oh, no, I'm kidding. So we'll see you then.
Practitioners, don't you know that it's time to be in service? Or this train will leave you at the station. Oh, you all are all invited to lunch. Start that love train, love train. Oh, the congregants of Awakening, join hands. Start the love train to your lunch, and we bless the food we're about to eat. Join hands and start a love train. Don't forget to love on Troy. He's some CDs over there. Leave a donation for him too. Start a love train. You don't need no ticket. Oh, people all over the world. Hey. Don't forget Travis too. Ooh. worry no more. Is there? Give me G. Even if it don't come true, dreaming is what dreamers do. Heaven's keys from gray to blue are never gray. Even if it all goes bust, pretty things are fade to rust. Angel wings to angel dust every day. Oh, worry no more. Oh, worry no more. That's the song. There's an open door for you. Oh, worry, worry, worry. Hey, worry no more. Oh, worry no more. There's an open door for you.